Hi, welcome back. We are still on the Web 3.0 series. Now, following up from part 1, we talked with MJ on what briefly Web 3.0 is. And now, on part 2, we're going to talk about the concerns and the perceptions of Christians and how we can engage in this fast and changing world in regards to Web 3.0. Well, let's check it out. It's interesting because I noticed, right, that at least my interactions with my circle is that there is this fear.
Yeah.
Web 3 actually. So more fear. I know that's varied, right? But like one of us, like I think we're the minority in understanding crypto and Web 3.0. And the irony about it is that Web 2.0 is not any better. You know?
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is, like, for example, when you sign up for TikTok, right? You don't read the terms and agreements and the privacy, but what it says inside there is using this Web 2.0 platform basis for the sake of giving you the entertainment and scrolling. They take you are giving them access to your files.
Yes.
And even when you don't use the app, they can go through your contacts, your IP address, your network provider, your internet, your whole phone model, and we basically take control of your entire phone. And when you watch their content, you give them permission to record your face, your voice, expression, all in the name of giving you better content. And I'm like, how is that any good? It's like, not only do you not own the data, right? You are just giving your data without knowing it.
Correct.
Yeah, so that's Web 3.0 comes in to aims to solve that. Maybe share what is one good example of Web 3.0 and what is one bad example, just to give the audience a gauge on how it can swing both ways.
In terms of a product or a service?
Yeah, let's try product or service first to let them see.
Yeah, so here's the interesting thing about Web3. It's very underdeveloped. So I would dare say there isn't right now a proper functioning use case that is in Web3 that you can't get from Web2 right now. And the big leap is that ownership, right? So read, write, and own. The issue is, let me give you an example, right? So if you do a transaction through a bank, and it's maybe it's wrong, or you have certain safeguards in place. So for example, you make a bank transfer, you will get a prompt, or they'll ask you to key in a specific PAC code, or today we have secure ID, things like that. So it's built in place for you to not make a lot of mistakes, actually. And even if you use, let's say, a credit card, right? If, let's say, a scammer, uses your credit card, you can straight away just call the bank within 30 days and say, hey, like, this is not my transaction, cancel it. So someone tried to take money from you, but you are protected by the bank. So this is money 2.0, let's call it. With Web3 or money 3.0, when you sign a transaction, that's it. Right? Literally, you just put in an address and then you sign, and you cannot reverse it. Right? Even though you made a mistake, you add an additional zero or one less zero, things like that. Of course, if you have one less zero, it's not so bad. But what happens when you have additional, how do you take the money back? So right now, honestly, Web3 hasn't really created like a killer product or something like that would rival the traditional system. The only benefit is, like, let's say if you use Bitcoin, you can transfer like globally without much issue. Yeah. Whereas if you use the alternative money 2.0 system, which is Swift, the Swift codes and things like that, it'll probably take a bit longer, and there are more hurdles to pass.
Correct.
So to
banking
give you an example, banking limitations. So I wouldn't say that, like I say, it's very early days, so I wouldn't know a specific product.
Right. But we are moving towards that point of view,
Hopefully, for Web 1.30.
As a Christian,
yes,
what are some of the encouragements and reminders as we know that this world is changing, right? Some are even talking about becoming more Amish, right? Just run to the jungle and all that.
Okay.
So just try to share your thoughts from a Christian perspective. Like, how are we supposed to engage this or approach this? Some things to think about.
I think the number one thing you need to be aware of is greed in this field. Building on my earlier point about there is no product or use case or very clear use case yet. The challenge, right, is to always be helpful to your fellow man. I think this is very clear. I think I got a few verses. Let me see. Romans 12:13, right? Contribute to the needs of God's people and welcome strangers into your home. So now why this is important is because in the Web3 crypto world, right, there's a lot of money flowing around, but not a lot of actual use cases. So you're not really, like you are making money. So okay, if let's say if I run a restaurant and I make a lot of money, right? I know that the only way I can make, by and large, the big way I can make money is if I serve, good food, I keep people full and things like that, right? So you can see the immediate, not just economic, but the actual value providing to your fellow man, right? Yeah. Think of money as a way like certificate or a receipt that you have helped your fellow man. Right. So if I'm selling something and you buy from me, when you take out money, you're saying, hey, I've done something from someone else to be able to collect this money. So here is proof that I have been useful to my fellow man in the past. So now I would like to get what you have. And similarly, when the guy gives you,
useful.
Right, it's like a receipt lah. Now, but that's the basic understanding. But that's not true all the time, right? We know this, like not everybody, like if I have $1 million and if you have $1 million, right, it doesn't mean that the way we got it is the same. And sometimes the way you can get it is through illicit means. Right? Now, where Web3 right now is somewhere in between. It's not illicit, but because it hasn't produced a proper societal function yet, that's why you can go into crypto and just make money out thin air without having actually helped someone.
And it becomes a contention point. For
you just make money for the sake of making money. So your receipt are in a way forged, if that makes sense.
Yes. Because there's no proper regulation in that sense, or adoption yet.
That too. Adoption, yes, that's another one. Well, adoption might be there, but again, use cases. What are you doing?
Because no one is really using it, but they're cashing out.
It's just like a casino. Everybody is just investing just to make money, to make a quick buck.
So let's just say most Christians hearing this, they're in agreement with that, right? What are some of the things that they can do to just ease off this tension or reconcile this tension?
So you have to look at and you know what, this is true for like any industry as well, right? Every industry has pockets where you just make a lot of money without much contribution to the economy and to people, right? Things like teaching someone else, that has a lot of value within Web3. Things like being like coding or software engineering within the field, that provides a lot of economic value. Right.
Understood.
So there are some areas, but the general point is that you have to look at the industry and then you have to say, okay, of course you want to know like which area you can make money from, but then you also have to figure out, okay, when I make this money, right, like why am I making the money? So like how much you make is less important, I would say, than how you make it. So you start with those two questions.
Okay, thank you so much.
So if let's say the way you make money is like by promoting a particular project, and after the project launch you cash out and that's it, game over, then that's something you need to question, because all you have done is just promoted a project, whether it's good or not, and you make money out of that. Right, illegal or not, separate question. I mean,
but deceiving the those who bought in the project.
And we know like as Christians that it's not about whether it's illegal or not. I mean, we have not been called to uphold that level of standards, but we have been called to uphold a much higher level of standards. Right, it's not just enough that you don't kill the person; it's that you don't hate the person.
The law in the heart.
Right, exactly. So it's similarly. So just because you can get away with things, and you can get away with a lot of things in crypto, doesn't mean you should do that.
All right, thank you
Yeah.
so much. And I guess drawing from you as we come to a close,
Yes.
thank you so much, MJ, for sharing your thoughts on this. Is that, two things that I draw from you is that regardless, the tension exists because Web 3.0 is still a growing thing. So there will be gaps around, but while you're at it, as Christians who are entering this space, right, ask yourself, what is it that God is calling you to, and how is it you're going about it? Because we are called to a higher standard. And also the reminder, as Web3 crypto is just a tool, an amoral thing. The reality is those behind it, the people there, are fallen beings, right?
Yeah.
So any financial system, any government
Correct.
system, there will have issues, and it takes a lot of discernment from as Christians to know how to navigate this space. And I think some share that conviction if they want to run to the jungle, right?
Yeah.
Sure, as long as you give me the space to converse with you and ask your convictions why lah, and whether that holds up lah.
Yes.
And those who enter crypto, the same thing lah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's all for today. And if you wanna keep up with us, do subscribe to the YouTube channel and also follow us on Instagram. Yeah, this is MJ. Any last words?
No, I guess if there was one, it would be to end with a quote to remember that I think this is in Matthew, I believe. Colossians, right? 23, 24, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for human masters, since you know that you will receive. The key here is an inheritance from the Lord as a reward. It is the Lord that you are serving. So what this really means is that, your inheritance is really secure. So behave as if you already have an inheritance, because you do.
Yeah, eternal inheritance in Christ. Amen.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, MJ.
All right.
See you in the next one. So, what are your thoughts? Do you share the same concerns and thought process as MJ when he shared his view of Web 3.0 as a Christian? Now, if you still do not know what Web 3.0 is, well, catch part 1, which will be linked right here or here for you to click, and I'll see you when I see you.